Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the CryptoManiacs podcast. Where in the world is Belimo? That is the question.
It's going to be like a new game, like where's Waldo? Where's Belimo? I think, you know what, to be honest with you, I think he was just jerking us around. I think he wanted to make us look foolish. Not that you and I need any help in making ourselves look foolish, but I think he just wanted to, help us along. And, hey, I'm going to make these two idiots look like idiots.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not having a good day, Task.
I know. I'm rallying the Twitter army to give you
I
a
know.
big old virtual hug and embrace John in our bosom because John has had to deal
But
with Ethereum, which you know how much I mean, John would rather go have root canal without Novocaine than deal with MetaMask and Ethereum.
So it started this morning by smashing my glasses, so everyone can watch the replay here. My glasses are broken, so I look amazing.
That begs the question: what would possess you to smash your glasses?
Well, I
That's
didn't
not a smart
smash
thing
it;
to do.
they fell off my face, and these cheapy, jobs just crack, and so at least I can see, so I can still the lens is still in. Anyways, people didn't come here to listen to me whine about my
Yes, they did.
glasses. Yes, they
No,
did. Hello, my
they came to hear you whine because I must say, between CryptoManiacs and your Thursday night show, you've been like the spoiled little schoolgirl of late. Just whine, 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 whine.
dude. Can I therapy session? Can
Vent?
we
Can you
vent?
vent? Well, welcome to the crypto psychiatry show. Crypto shrinks.
I'm so a month ago, Splinterlands announced that they're going to do this Rooney mint, and Rooney apparently is
Is
it's
that a
going to
card?
be a what's that?
Is that a
It's a card.
card?
It's a
Okay.
card. Yeah, it's a card, and I don't even know what they call it. There's some fancy crypto term that they called it, degenerative NFT or so. I don't even know what it's called. Anyways, the whole point is that you mint this thing on Ethereum, OpenSea, and then it's basically you can play the card, but it's an Ethereum mint. So the whole idea is to get people excited in Ethereum about Splinterlands. That's basically what it is. It's a marketing ploy to get more attention. And fine, I salute it. Whatever, that's fine. So a month ago they announced this, and you needed 100 voucher to get on the whitelist. So obviously I run and get my whitelist spot because all things Splinterlands, I'm a degen and I love it. Hello, Edgar. I want to be a part of it, and I'm all for it. Now, of course, this requires you to have Ethereum on mint day, which is right now. And no problem, but you have to link the accounts. Now, if anyone's ever tried to link accounts and you don't do it properly the first time, it's just an absolute clutter. So I did it properly the first time. I linked my account to OpenSea. I linked my account to Splinterlands. The problem is that Splinterlands, like, it logs you out of your wallet, and I'm going to kill the dogs. Please hold as I kill the dogs, and I'll be right back. Get outside. Come on. Let's go. Out. Go.
Well, John's really in need of a hug. And
Oh
maybe
my
a
gosh.
kiss at this point.
Okay. Okay.
And a shot of tequila.
Yeah, I haven't drank in like 7. Last time I had a drink was actually Steamfest 3 in Poland. That's the last time I've had a drink, so it's been a while.
What was this? 6? 7?
What's that?
Were we at? 6? This was last one was 6.
6 or 5? 5? I think it was. Was it 5? I can't remember. 6, maybe 6. It was a whole bunch of years ago. So you gotta link your accounts with MetaMask if you have it. But see, I don't use Ethereum at all. So I have the Brave wallet, and I've also got MetaMask, and it's just an absolute clutter. Like when I'm logging into like Cub Finance, I have to find the password. I got to make sure I'm in the right, wallet. Like it's the stupidest. It's like these people that code this stuff are imbeciles. You want to know why? This is why. Because they don't think like regular people. Here's my analogy. This is what I mean. When people, everyone in their mother has a television. Everyone in their mother has a telephone, like back in the day telephone or a dial telephone. Everyone has these things, right? The way it got adopted is that everyone could use it. Like, do you know how a television works? Do you know how a TV or a computer works? Do you know how any of this stuff works? Sure, you could Google it, but at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to press a button and you want it to work. That's it. That's how the television, the telephone, the computer, all of these things. Why aren't we doing MS-DOS for operating systems? No, because Windows and Apple came up with icons, GUIs or whatever they're called. That's why, because it's for everyday people. So I'm on top of the food chain rant right now, man. I'm going off, man.
Yeah, but John, if you take your TV and you're watching a program or you're on a channel and you want to watch a different program, what do? Do you rant and rave? You have to switch the channel. Well, right. With MetaMask, you're on the wrong network. You got to switch your network.
But not only do you have to, if you don't get it right the first time in all of these things, I can't go into OpenSea right now. At least there's no support. It's not like they have a support desk. You can't send. I've sent in a support to the Splinterlands. They gave me a fix, but it didn't work. So I had to go to OpenSea. They don't have a support thing. So if you put in your wallet address the first time and it's not, and you have to change it, good luck. Good luck. Have fun. Go try that.
Why would you have to change your wallet address?
Because the wallet address that linked into Splinterlands has to be the exact same one. But I got logged out of Splinterlands and MetaMask logged me in using a different wallet address. Because again, I don't use Ethereum, so I have MetaMask and I have my Brave wallet. It connected to my Brave wallet, not the MetaMask wallet that I needed. So it's like this conflict. There's this conflict that goes on, and it's not like Hive Keychain where it's one thing.
Yeah, but in Hive Keychain, if you don't have the right account keys in there, you're not getting in with your account. So you could be logged in one account and want to do it in something else, and if it's not in there, why don't you just add the second account you have to MetaMask? You can have more than one account in MetaMask. You can add your wallet to it.
Can you? I don't know, because I've tried to add. Every time I go add an account, it gives me a whole new wallet address. Like, Belimo's here, thankfully, so we don't need to hear my rants anymore. So let's just see if he's here. He's here, but he's not. Anyways, let's see. He's here. He's here. He's not.
There he is.
Thank God he's here to keep me off the plank, man. Like
you missed John bitching for about 10 minutes about MetaMask and Ethereum.
He always struggles with that shit. Why do you always struggle with it?
Because it's awful. I hate it. I can't deal with it. I can't figure this stuff out. If you could put 10 Bitcoin and say, I will give you 10 Bitcoin right now to figure this out, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You could pay me $1 million to try to figure. It's the most like, I can't even come up with the word, man. It's the most. It's such a bad user experience.
It can be stressful though. Like, I get that it can be stressful because, like, I use one of those hardware wallets. I do everything possible to just avoid it. I just call, pick up. I just get it. I don't just like I doesn't exist. That can be stressful.
Dude, it's ridiculous. Anyways.
Sorry for coming late. I'm just coming off the gym.
Well, at least you're taking care of yourself, man. Not like me. I'm stressing out.
I lost 3 kilograms in like
Very
good. Yeah.
very good.
I've been drinking healthy, see my protein shake here. You know, I keep trying to stay healthy.
Is that protein shake? Are you sure? Is that protein?
Looks kind of like whiskey.
It kind of looks like whiskey. Yeah.
For some reason, I think there might be a language or a culture difference here. Belimo's protein shake and our protein shake might be two different things we're referring to.
Pretty sure this
We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
you have to shake it sometimes. That's the protein shake. So what is happening?
Dude, other than me losing my mind about this, because you know why I'm messing with Splinterland. It's Splinterlands. It's the Rooney. I'm trying to mint Rooney. I'm trying to get this stupid Rooney card with Splinterlands, and that's what I'm doing.
Take a minute to sit down the Rooney stuff.
What happened? Sorry.
I'm not going to buy the Rooney stuff.
Oh, well, I bought my whitelist spot, so I'm ready to go. I got the Ethereum ready to rock. I got my $20,000 for gas fees ready to go. You know, God. Ugh. Anyways,
What is Ethereum in my life?
it's awful. It's the worst.
And I probably
It's the worst.
if you start and the transaction fails,
You still get charged.
you still lose your Ethereum.
You still lose it. Yeah. It's great. Such a great experience. And people wonder why crypto isn't adopted around the world. You know, I maybe fix that.
Hive fixes that.
I know it does. This makes me love Hive so much more. So much more.
You know, like my I was using the hardware. I went to yes, my phone went to and for still, there was a MetaMask in my laptop. The website they said first, and all of a sudden the MetaMask was compromised. I was like, really? It was like over $1 billion something. You can't work on security. Like, I get for something so trivial like that. And every time I think about that, I just love Hive more because my kids, I think somebody else wants to come to the show. I come and say, come. She wants to show.
Oh, there's the dog. Good.
Yeah, she's trying to get on the show. I don't know why. What do you want?
That's a beast of a dog. Yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean, Ethereum is worth, $20 trillion in market cap, and they can't come up with some of these brilliant programmers to say, hey, why don't we make this easier for everyday people to use? Why don't we put security in place where dummies like this guy, me, can't screw it up? Why isn't this priority number one with all the money that they got? It's whatever. I don't care. Anyways.
So every time I'm so paranoid. Like time I'm touching my, I'm always like, yeah, I'm always worried. I'm always like, I'm always scared. Like that's the problem. Because with high teaching, I never feel that way. I feel just everything is in English. You never know because you know you are saying yes, I want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. Simple. MetaMask going weird. That's frustration.
I use it with Leo Finance related stuff, and that's it.
Yep.
I don't go for airdrops. I don't go for anything like that. It's and the only thing I use is like Pancake Swap and just known stuff like that. And outside of that, approve this contract. Nope.
And all of that, you scan your MetaMask right now, if you scan your MetaMask right now, your MetaMask, this is the coin there, and those tokens there could actually like be used to somewhere. I don't know how to explain it. Phishing tokens that are used to see the whole thing is just fucking nuts because gives you access to billions of dollars, like Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, all these networks go through us, and they really can't just work on their security. They really can't just make things easier. Makes me feel like, sometimes it makes me feel like MetaMask themselves, and all the security issues that happen with MetaMask. I just think like these are some conspiracy theories, and sometimes I'll say that when something goes in MetaMask, no one else are involved in it somehow.
Did you ever hear of this thing called Hive? They solved that problem.
I did. I heard of it. I think I've used it a few times. Once in a while, I use it.
You use it when you're not on Twitter.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see Leo Finance has added edit button, something that Twitter's been asked for 100 years, and Leo Finance Threads now has edit. Something Twitter still doesn't have.
Twitter is just a very weird platform. Like they're not exactly. They're all playing safe. They're always going to play it safe with their innovations. They're not going to try anything crazy like that. Something that's crazy as adding an edit, but that's too crazy. An edit button, that's crazy. That's
crazy talk.
Well,
the reason, number one reason why I heard against it is if you retweet something I put out, then I edit it and I totally flip around the meaning. Now your retweet, which you liked or you retweeted or something, now you're supporting something you're totally against because I just totally changed it. And, with Threads and on the blockchain, not only does it say edited, so the thread was edited, you actually can go to the blockchain. You can go to iBlock and see the original and see what it was. So this is a situation where actually everything being on blockchain actually helps the feature, because if somebody changes something that totally changes the meaning, you can go back to the original post and say, that's not what they originally wrote.
Is that the reason?
Yeah.
That's the reason why they don't have an edit button?
Yeah, because like if somebody writes, I love Joe Biden, and a Joe Biden supporter sends it out, then that person goes after 50,000 people retweeted it and changed it to, I hate Joe Biden. Now all these Joe Biden supporters are tweeting out that they hate Joe Biden or whatever. That's just a stupid example, but there's no path of what was done on Twitter, because it's just, okay, it was updated. On Hive, you can go always to Hive blocks and you can go back down and drill down and see and say, okay, well, Belimo changed that post on me and made me look stupid because he posted something the exact opposite, and he saw I retweeted it or rethreaded it, and he just changed it to make me look foolish. But that's Belimo.
Well, it's kind of like his protein shakes, right?
Yeah, well, that's just
that makes sense.
That's just the language, John. That's just the language barrier, don't you know? I mean, it's a protein drink in his country. Just because you and I are thinking of something milky and powdery, he's saying no, it's not.
Clear and strong.
Yeah,
that's how protein shakes should be: clear and strong.
To be honest with you, that does look like the color and the texture of some of the things that some of the real hardcore gyms that I belonged to in the past, that guys would put in the syringe and, injected themselves. So, I mean, maybe there is something that's helping Belimo's workouts. It's
So
And it's been working. I lost 3 kg, so it's definitely working.
I gotta ask, man. Like, what have you been up to other than taking care of yourself and drinking your protein shakes?
how's the path to moving going? That's, I think, a big thing you talked
Oh
about
shit.
a number of times.
That has hit is there's been a problem. There's a problem that Nigeria happened to it. So the thing is, we're trying to pay the school fees because my wife is supposed to go to school and then I go as a dependent. That was the plan. So we were trying to pay the school fees, and the bank in Nigeria didn't process our payment on time. They couldn't because of some forex shortage in the country. So the bank couldn't process our payments because normally you put the naira in a Nigerian bank account, and then they debit you, and then it exchanges to pounds, and then they send it to the school bank account. So that didn't work out there, and we didn't meet the school's deadline. And because we didn't meet the deadline, we had to postpone it to September. So, and like we had done like a lot of preparations already. We had already like found a place we're going to move into and all that. So all that stuff now has just been postponed to September. So moving has been postponed basically. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I'm just summarizing it, and it's very annoying because like everything, our minds and our finances and everything we're doing was geared towards that relocation in like December. Our plan was to leave around December, but with this change now, I'm even now because of the change. I started even like reinvesting into Splinterlands and buying Splinterland shit with some of the money that I originally planned to put into our travel plans. I started buying Splinterland shit, and I've just been doing things to get my mind off it, so like it won't make me feel bad. But deep down, I'm sad about it.
Well, financially, you may end up in a better position because Splinterlands, like everything else, is beaten to hell. So, come next summer, Splinterlands, I mean, things may have taken off and you caught a bull. And so the stuff you're buying now may carry a much better price in the summer.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. And I think I got the John bug. I can't seem to hold packs or gems anymore. I've opened every single one of them, and I blame John. It's his fault. It's his fault,
dude.
I plan to hold. The plan was always to hold like 500 Chaos Legion packs and 300 Rift Watcher gems, but I've opened every single one of them, and I blame John.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. All this saving your packs things, like, come on. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Because this is my thought on it. Like Untamed, Alpha, Beta, the Orbs, all of those packs, there was such a limited amount of them. Rift Watchers, Chaos Legion, there's millions of these packs. So
True.
Splinterlands would have to 10x their users to get those prices. Like, I don't think you're ever going to see $30 Chaos Legion packs. I just don't. So people holding Chaos Legion packs, I just don't see it anytime soon. It might happen 5 years down the road when there's
a long time. There's a lot of time.
Yeah. So I'm so like pissed off right now at Splinterlands just because of this Rooney thing. So it's like I have a love-hate relationship with this thing right now. Like, I'm just like, this morning I was ready to find like some guy to buy my entire account. Like, just sell every single card I got. There, take it. I'm done. Like, I was so pissed. I'm just
Now, Belimo, are you playing the game still?
Because we're working on our relocation plans, I sold my first deck to Empoderat, and I just sold the entire deck, and I just stopped playing for a while. Then when I found out that the relocation thing wasn't going to work out, I started buying back cards, and I have a pretty decent deck now. At least I get to silver 1. In fact, I get to gold too, but like my ratings get to gold too, but I just stay in silver league because I don't have. John, you understand what I'm saying? You get what I mean?
Oh yeah.
My ratings get to gold 2 level, but I don't advance to gold league.
Yeah, I get into gold and like I'll get into diamond if I really hustle, but
Yeah,
it's tough, man. It's tough to move
very
up.
tough. Like, but yeah, I'm still
Now,
playing. I'm still playing.
is the payoff at silver and gold good? I mean, is it a decent payout?
Gold chests are way better than silver chests. The difference is huge. I can't. I'm better off getting 10, 15 silver chests and getting 2 gold chests. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like it used to be. I mean, you used to the merits, like I can't stand the merits. That's
Oh
like the
man, I
worst.
hate those merits.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
so point. Like I see them and I'm like, fuck, what am I supposed to do with you?
I know you like
Like
waste your day for merits. Like, oh,
like I can understand potions because every now and then I could just decide, okay, let me buy a few packs and use this potion.
right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
merits, fuck, like even those Gladius monsters,
I never used
what am
them.
I supposed-
I never,
never, like never.
never. Yeah.
Even in guild brawls, whatever, I never use them. So I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like,
Same. Yeah. Yeah. It's their way of making it seem like you're getting rewards, but you're really not. Like it's,
you can't even sell them. You can't even sell your Gladius monsters. You can't.
yeah. Yeah. You can burn them. That's it. Right. I think.
Yeah.
Can you burn them?
I don't know. I've never checked. Let me check.
Yeah. No. I'll go check now too. Pass. Just enjoy yourself, man, for a second as we.
Yeah, I'll just should I sing everybody a song while you guys are geeking out on Splinterlands?
No, please don't
Well,
sing.
Have you been watching me in the shower, Belimo?
Okay, so I'm looking at one now. Convert to.
Yeah. Convert.
Oh,
Yeah. Convert. Yeah. You can.
burn them.
Yeah. You can burn them for DC. So. I mean, it's.
Uh,
But I mean,
At least they have use.
they do have use for that because I never play. Like I never use these cards in battles, like ever.
Have you ever gotten like a legendary Gladius?
No. Biggest I've got is epic. I got 4 epic cards.
I have two epics.
Yeah, but I never
Yep.
I never play them. I never, like, ever. It's just, and you know why I think it is? I think it's just a familiarity thing. Like I'm used to playing, like what's one of the like the Earth ones? Like I'll play Grund. I'll never play Quora Tower's Head in a game. So I'm used to playing Grund. So when I see a lineup, I'm going to play Grund instead of this Quora lady that I've never used ever. So Task is just like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
I'm sure somebody in our audience understands.
It's Splinterlands nerd stuff, man. It's great.
That's how come you don't play Splinterlands?
I missed the boat on that one. I'm not much of a gamer, to be honest with you, Belimo. I never was. I mean, I've told John the last time I really was into gaming was Atari 2600, which I don't even know if you know what that is. If judging by your look, you don't. That was one of the first in-home gaming consoles.
Yar's Revenge, man.
The early 80s.
Early 80s.
Early 80s, yes. I am
What
that
the hell
old.
is an early 80s? Oh, like, okay, me like 1980s.
Early 1980s.
Whoa, you were alive then.
Not only was I alive, I was like 12 or 13 years old.
Whoa.
I know, there's stuff before the 1990s, Volleyball. I know, like,
There was a day
there was
age
history
before the
that.
smartphone. We did have technology before the smartphone. We didn't go from
I find it hard to believe that there was technology in the 80s. I find it hard to believe. No way. Caveman. That was caveman. That's prehistoric times. You know, that's
Dude, that's where I first
Flintstones.
played.
The Flintstones was based on 1980s.
The first game system I ever played on was 2600, man. Atari 2600.
You mentioned it's funny because I mean you've seen Pac-Man. That's when Pac-Man came out, and
Yeah.
and that
Pac-Man
was
came out in the
Brothers.
1980s.
Well, Mario
actually
Brothers
probably
came from
came out
Donkey
in the
Kong.
1970s on the
Pong.
in arcade consoles.
Wow.
There was a time you wanted to play a game, Belimo, you actually had to go to the arcade, which was in the mall or something. You went to a store and it had these gaming systems that you would play Donkey Kong or Pac-Man or pinball or whatever. I mean,
Donkey Kong. I mean, I read about those games. I never saw them.
actually,
that's where
actually,
Mario
some of them
Brothers
like
comes
Space
from.
Invaders and Asteroids,
Space
they're
Invaders.
all coming back. They're all coming back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yar's Revenge, Space Invaders, Pitfall.
I guess that's what. I guess this tower defense that Splinterlands are bringing is something like that. It's one of those. Because I see a lot of old people really excited about tower defense. Like old people are like, yes, yes. And I'm like, what the fuck is tower defense? What's going on? Like,
hey, shout out to Lisa. Lisa, I feel your pain. I resemble that comment too.
Yeah. It's I don't know much about tower defense, but I mean,
I don't know.
Like you said, it's like a lot of the nostalgic gamers are really excited about stuff like that.
People are really excited about it, and I'm wondering, I'm looking like, okay, whatever. I bought a few packs, whatever. Let's see. Me, I just want to open my tower defense packs. I just want to see what's inside because of John.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know why you're blaming me, man. Because this is
okay. Like I originally planned to hold on to these packs, and then you just planted this seed in my head. You just every time I think about opening packs, I'm like, John, why? I wanted to hold these packs
because I transferred from investor into player. Like I play the game, so having packs is useless to me. I want the cards. I want to level up my cards. I want the good. Cards.
John, that's like telling Belimo to open up that bottle of liquor. He's okay if he doesn't open it, but you say, "Hey, pop that sucker open. Forget it. It's done."
It's just a drink. Open it. Like sometimes I just want to, sometimes you just want to like buy a drink and not open it. Just keep it in your, just have it. But then somebody comes and tells you, you have to drink that drink. That drink is awesome. Drink it. Try it. You see what I'm saying? Try it. That's what you did. You planted this seed in my head. That's what you did.
Dude,
I keep thinking about my tower defense.
He was falling asleep, and that thought was in his head. He had to get out of bed. He went and logged on and started opening Splinterlands packs in the middle of the night because you put that in his head.
I don't know how you know. I don't know how you know this story. Were you watching me? Because this really happened. What you're saying really happened.
Well, I reversed the shower cam that you put in my bathroom to your bedroom.
It really happened. There was one time I was actually in bed and I bought. Then I was holding like 800 Chaos Legion packs, and it kept eating me up. I couldn't hold on. I couldn't bear it anymore. It was like a force pulling me to my laptop, and I woke up around like midnight, 1 a.m. and I just went straight to my computer and I bought like 1,000 potions. And I was like, let's do this. Fuck this. I can't take this anymore. And I just started opening them.
Did you have a drink first?
I always have a drink first.
Oh. Protein drink. Lisa, is John a bad influence? Ask Blaine that question. He's probably more qualified to answer. I think John froze, or he's crying. One of the two. I think Elon Musk and Starlink got to him. So anyway.
Hey John, how you join the Starlink at your place? Yeah, I remember you got the Starlinks.
Yeah, he moved out into the sticks, and evidently they have no service out there, so he got Elon service. Hey, what are your thoughts while John's playing hide and go seek? What are your thoughts on? And maybe he had a seizure. I don't know. Maybe we should be concerned. Should we call an ambulance? Screw him. What are your thoughts on Hive? What do you see going on that excites you?
Well, me, I'm really more interested in the gaming side of it. I like the blockchain games coming through, and I never stop talking about CyberX. That's really what I am really like excited about these days.
Expound on that. What do you like about CyberX? What's stroking you on that one?
Okay, so CyberX is like a traditional game. It's like first person shooter, Call of Duty type of game. So they're really like pushing the boundaries. Most blockchain games are always card this, trading card that.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't lie, I really didn't know much about trading cards until I played Splinterlands. Trading card stuff was it's new to me. So CyberX is really like taking us back, I guess. Should I say taking us back or forward? But they're basically like going to what like traditional gamers like me who play PlayStation all the time, what we know as a game. Like we're going to be shooting each other with guns and upgrading our weapons and running around and doing flips and stuff. And it's not just going to be about opening packs and setting up cards like Pokemon stuff to play. So I'm really excited about experiencing that on the blockchain level because I play Call of Duty online and I don't make any money from it. So I'm really like excited about the blockchain, throwing in blockchain into something that I'm really, really familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's coming to Hive and it's huge. And they've been releasing like gameplay videos and stuff like that. And it's really looking good. It's really looking good. So that's one thing that's really been exciting me about Hive. But generally, Hive is in a good place. I like the fork, recently where we can now delegate our resource credit. That's a nice move, especially with a lot of games coming through. Because other than CyberX, like other games coming through, and resource credit is going to really blow up. I feel like resource credit at some point is probably going to be like an asset where people like make money off. Like there's going to be like a market for it, kind of like because where we're going now, there's going to be a lot of like many people are going to need resource credit, whether it's Splinterlands or any of the other games coming through. People are going to need resource credit, and I feel like this recent hard fork, I think 26 or was it 27? I think there was
It was
27
both.
after
26, then 4 days,
then
5 days
27
later,
was like on
27.
Monday.
Yeah, to fix a
So
bug.
yeah, and I think the folks are going to really their timing is really nice because it gives resource credit. It brings more attention to resource credit that many people don't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
Like so I'm looking forward to that.
I would not be surprised if we see, even if we don't get a direct market and a direct exchange around resource credits, I wouldn't be surprised if some applications didn't start rewarding people, let's say a CyberX, where they reward people in LVL with LVL for delegating resource credits to some of their players.
Yeah.
And set up an app or set up some way to do that where, maybe it's just you go through a front end and it's effectively what you're doing is your Belimo account is delegating to Todd Smith. You don't know it, but that's effectively what's happening. And for giving, 100, the equivalent of
Resource
100
credit,
HP resource credits, you get some LVL each month
yeah.
or whatever.
Things like that are going to spring up for sure.
So you think, because I started following CyberX a little bit, then I kind of got distracted with other things. Do you think CyberX, obviously for the people who are in Hive and who are into those shooter type games and understand Hive and understand, like you said, the PlayStation shooter games, online shooter games, this will have some appeal. But do you see CyberX as the type of game, from what you've witnessed and watching the videos and what you see with the development, do you see this as a game that could reach outside of Hive and have appeal to non-blockchain players who look at this and say, hey, this is something cool to try?
Absolutely. Because the developers are really ambitious. They have like an ambitious plan. They're talking about metaverse and they're talking about like making it really elaborate, where like if you are not online, you need to set up your base so you don't get robbed. Like if let's say you're offline now, and then I know where John's base is in the metaverse, and I just go to John's base and I shoot everywhere, and I can steal his shit, basically. Yeah, like I could steal your shit. I could steal some of your assets that you keep. Maybe you have some assets in the game, and I could go there and I could just shoot the whole place and steal some of your shit. And then, they're trying to make it like really, really elaborate like that. And I think it's going to be a hit. I think it's going to be a hit as a game, not even like as a blockchain, anything.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
have a good feeling. I have a good feeling about it just as a game. And maybe it's because I'm really like in there. I'm really in there, and I'm really like excited about it. Maybe I'm just projecting my excitement, but
Mhm.
I feel like they have an ambitious plan to make a game, but they're going to make an exciting game where there will be blockchain side, but you won't really care about the blockchain side. You just want to enjoy the game. You just want to attack people and loot their shit, and then you can build brothels and stuff like that. It's going to be crazy. What they have in mind, like, it's going to be crazy. Like we're all basically like cyberpunks. I don't know if you guys know what the cyberpunk is.
Mhm.
So we're all basically like cyberpunks. Each character is one type of cyberpunk, and we're all like trying to like do crazy shit, shoot up, kill people, destroy your intel, your helicopter, whatever. Like, we're just like doing crazy shit in a metaverse. So I feel like there's potential to have a really, really fun game. Obviously, when it comes out, we'll know better. But I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of potential to have a fun game there, and we just have to wait to see
And
what
you
comes.
don't
But
think them tying it, and you don't think them tying it into MetaMask is going to be a problem?
are they tying it into MetaMask? No, no, no. I hope not.
I hear they're going to put everything on OpenSea just for John.
I don't think John is going to be playing CyberX.
Not if it has a MetaMask
No,
wallet
no.
tied to it. Actually, I think John looks like he froze again. But
But
I think
I know that
John
they.
wants it
Yeah.
when he comes back. I think he's actually a shooter player gamer. I think he gets into that stuff.
Oh, okay. He's frozen. His network is frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Oh,
His
okay.
internet froze, or he had a stroke in front of us. One of the two.
I hope it. I hope. You might have
You
to
hope
call
he
the
had a
ambulance
stroke.
or something.
You know, there he is.
Oh,
Kind of.
welcome.
Dude,
So,
So,
John, are you you're a shooter gamer, right? You like shooting games?
I used to be hardcore Call of Duty guy, but I haven't played Call of Duty in half. So, man, it's like Splinterlands took over my life, like literally. Like, just no other game compared, because it just seemed wasting my time with all these other games. Like, they don't pay me, you know. I don't own any of it, you know.
Well, I think Belimo hit the nail on the head. If CyberX can make a game that people will love to play, regardless of the tokenization and the NFTs and the monetary play to earn, whatever you want to call it, if it's a game that people say this is just kick ass and fun to play, and then, oh, by the way, I got all these in-game assets that I want, and they actually have a value. There's a market for them, instead of most games where I turn off the game and all my assets are locked in the game and they're worth nothing. I think then you got a win-win formula. My question is, what's really going to be tied to Hive? We know that the LVL's on Hive Engine. I presume they're going to use the Hive account management system, but I don't know.
yeah. And they're not even giving out that much information about it. But right now, all they've been releasing is gameplay videos. So at least we are getting an idea about how the game is going to look like. We know it's going to be sci-fi. Like I said, it's going to be like some cyberpunk type stuff, maybe probably set in like the year 2500 or some shit. And we know it's going to be hardcore, like it's going to be like serious shooting, and there'll probably be some blood and gore and stuff like that. We know it's going to be crazy. We know there'll be brothels. Very important. There will be brothels.
That's the only thing. Belimo saw that. He says, I'm in. I can set up a brothel.
Yeah,
Cool.
you can. Like it's so cool. Everywhere I'm going. My nickname in the CyberX group is Cyber Pimp. I'm already ready for my brothel. Like just
Well, see, John. Here's what happened. There's questions about the viability and sustainability of Decentraland, and this idea of virtual real estate. Belimo said that's all garbage. The money's in the virtual brothels. So
yep.
as long as there's brothels, pimping ain't easy, Belimo, as you know.
Nope. I know it's not. I've gotten my purple suit already. I'm walking towards it.
Oh man.
No, but no, for real. That CyberX game, I'm so excited about it. Like it just seems so good. Like it just seems so good. It just seems like a lot of fun. And sometimes I'm even worried. Like I'm getting too excited by it, and I'm worried that it's clouding my judgment because of I just feel like my excitement is clouding my judgment, and I'm not thinking straight. And sometimes I even want like I take out time to look for like contrary opinions and people that are like that can objectively like analyze the situation and just tell me something different. But personally, from like I am so excited by the game, and you know, that's it's coming to Hive. That's a good thing. It's coming to Hive, and whenever it comes, I think early next year, it's going to be there'll be like a beta version for people who bought a lot of LVL and stuff. Early next year, it's going to come, and people are going to start playing the game, and then sometime in the middle of next year, I think that's when the full game is probably going to be available for the rest of us, and then we'll know what's happening then.
John, I just sent you on DM on Discord a picture. I don't know if you can pull it up here for Belimo and everybody to see, but this I think is Belimo's new outfit. I think John froze on us. I think he froze again. I'll send it to you, Belimo, because I think he froze. I don't know. I can't get into chat.
Send it to me on Discord.
I did.
I'm just opening up my Discord now. So how have things been with you? How's the crypto market treating you?
Crypto market treats me the same as it always does. I don't pay much attention to it. It's price means nothing to us. It goes up, it goes down. We keep building, we keep growing our bags.
I don't know what's going on. This connection is killing me, man. So,
yeah, you keep freezing.
Yeah, it just gives me the circle of death.
Yeah, I just saw the outfit. Yeah, that's probably what I was going for.
You did that, man. Yeah, I know what you're saying. The picture you sent. Yeah.
You like that? I can see Belimo dressed it like that.
Cyber pimp. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's what I was going for. Maybe the glasses might need some sci-fi touch, but that's basically
it. make an NFT out of that. Put that as your profile pic, and we're good to go. Virtual pimping, Belimo.
Yeah. And
run his brothel. Yeah, well, that's good. I hope everybody does take a look at CyberX. It's something that, like you said, I haven't followed closely enough, but it did appear they have some very bold plans and are very much excited about what's going on in the future. So I hope it really helps Hive, and they're committed to Hive. Oh, shit, he's on the other side now.
I don't know. Whatever. It's not. I don't know what's going on.
Keeps playing hide and go seek. Now look at him. Now, can you get John? Can you get Belimo's outfit on here somehow, some way? Is there?
My pacifier says Starlink is down.
Yes, Starlink isn't really doing good at life here. Hold on, let me. We'll put this for everyone to see. There we go. Hold on.
See what Belimo was laughing at.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I don't know. I'll look good in that. I can see myself in that. I think I'll look so good.
Cyber pimp. Yeah.
I think you would stand out.
Slap a Hive logo somewhere, and I'll look good.
Yeah. You might want to run that one by your wife first, though. Get her opinion on that.
Yeah, no. I don't think I think I'll just surprise her with it. It's going to be a big surprise.
She'll be shocked, I'm sure.
What do you want?
She'll be shocked.
So
yeah, I don't know.
CyberX, have you looked at any of the other games? I see a lot of articles about Hash Kings and Rising Star and Leo Finance. Have you looked at either of those? Do you know much about them?
No, I don't know about Hash King. I know a little about Rising Star, but the other game that has been trending, and John knows about it, is the Genesis League Sports coming through. Yeah, and that one is affiliated with Splinterlands. But I haven't really. I didn't buy packs. I'm not participating in that one. I don't know. Like, one card trading game is enough for me. I won't lie. Like, the only reason I'm playing Splinterlands is the first card trading game I've ever played in my life. Most people that play Splinterlands, they already have like history with playing card trading games, probably, or they know about baseball cards and all that stuff. But personally, I don't. All that stuff I'm learning right with, like, Splinterlands taught me everything I know about card trading games and stuff. So, the whole playing card trading game for football, I don't know. Soccer, you guys know it as soccer. The whole card trading thing for soccer is just too much. I mean, I play soccer, football, soccer. Okay, yeah. Sorry, we call it football here. The whole card trading, the whole card trading thing for soccer is just stressful because I play FIFA, and FIFA is a soccer video game, like, where I see actual likeness of real life footballers. So doing the whole card trading thing, I'm not really connecting with it. At least Splinterlands, I can imagine. I just let my imagination work. When I see Serpentine Spy, I just imagine that's what Serpentine Spy is doing. But
I got a question for you, because I saw the PSG logo on your shirt. Do you think that's why? If Genesis League was like a European league, do you think that would have had more of an attraction to, like, the world? Because, like, it's MLS, right? And it's MLS is big out here, but you guys aren't really carrying what the New York Football Club out here does. Like, you guys don't
New York
care.
Red Bull.
See,
that's
you know more than me. Yeah. Well, we got Toronto FC. That's the team.
Yeah, I follow football. I follow MLS a little, not so much, just a little. And I know a couple of them: Seattle Sounders, Toronto FC. I know a couple of them. And yeah, you're right. The MLS, I mean, worldwide, maybe doing something with the English Premier League or Spain or France, like PSG, France. Somewhere in Europe, where, like, they really care about football. Like, it'll probably make more noise than the MLS. But I figured that they work with what's close to them, so that's why they went to the MLS. And it's not
you
a
have
bad.
to get the agreement, and who knows if you can get an EPL agreement.
No, EPL agreement will be too expensive. It will be huge. EPL is the biggest league in the world.
Yeah.
EPL is the biggest league in the world. Like, the money involved to even get any licensing or whatever would be too big. It'll be too big. It'll require like a lot of investments. So I understand why they went with the MLS. For me, that's for me personally. That might maybe that plays into it. That probably plays into it because if like me now, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm in Nigeria and I support an English Premier League club. So probably if this were like something that was coming with the English Premier League, I would probably have been more excited and maybe a little bit more interested. But I still don't see myself going giving a shit about card trading with English Premier League players because, like I said, I have a video game here. I just play FIFA.
Now, have you messed around with Rabona?
I stopped. I got tired. I got tired because there's no development in the game. And I'm not trying to like talk bad about them or anything. I know these things are not easy, but it just kind of felt like it stagnated, and I just got tired. I just got bored, and the tactics too in the game, like you play an opponent and the opponent has 8 players, but somehow they win you. The whole thing was just weird. Like my team has 11 players, somebody has 8 players, but that person's 8 players somehow wins my team. What the fuck? Like the tactics and everything was just really weird, and maybe because I didn't understand it, but I know that I won leagues. When I was playing seriously, I won leagues and I grew up. I rose up in ranks well, but I got bored of it because it just wasn't going anywhere. I always thought that the plan was to make it like Football Manager. I don't know if you ever played Football Manager. I always thought that the plan was
the EA game. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I always thought that the plan was to make it like Football Manager, but there was no like, Splinterland is like a community. So even when things are not, they are not doing anything in Splinterland, there's always like interaction with the community. It's always like, okay, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. But with Rabona, there was nothing like that. There was no community per se. There were the project leaders weren't like interacting with the players, people playing the game. And I played Rabona a lot. I wrote about Rabona a lot. And so because of the lack of activity, I just lost interest and stopped playing. But I still like I have a lot of RBN tokens and stuff. And whenever they are ready, whenever they like do something, I'm just going to just come back. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for them to do something.
There you go. Good stuff. I'm sure, I personally just want all these games to go to Ethereum so we could use our MetaMask wallets with it. So, that would definitely help my experience with it.
If John's going to spend the next 3 weeks figuring out MetaMask, he wants every single game to have MetaMask integrated because once he figures it out, he doesn't want all that time spent for nothing. So there better be a lot of shit for him to do.
I've never. What is a whitelist? How does that even work? What is a whitelist?
They did it like a month ago, and it was like you had to. It sold out in like 10 seconds, and it was you had to spend 100 vouchers to get the whitelist, and the whitelist allowed you to get this for like $250 worth of Ethereum instead of the $500. So it was like a half price, and they opened it up to the Splinterlands community first. Sold out like this, like in a second, it sold out. I was lucky enough to get one. So I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. I log into OpenSea. It's like, oh, this stupid thing. But okay, we'll do it. I'm taking one for the team. I love Splinterlands. Yeah. And, then past 24 hours of my life has been just misery trying to figure this stupid stuff out. So I hate it all. I hate it all. Thanks for listening to my rant.
Next, John's going to play with High Signer and try to log into all his.
This is a really good example. Hive Signer was an awful experience. Keychain was built. It's a better experience. No one even talks about Hive Signer anymore.
Well, but you got to use Hive Signer on mobile, don't you?
I don't even have mobile. I don't have Hive Signer on my phone. Like eSency, I literally have to type in my key to get into eSency.
Wow.
Yeah, like stupidness. I haven't signed into eSency in months because it's just whatever.
Wait, you type in your keys, like you really type in your
I
private
typed
key.
in my key to get into eSency like a year ago, and then they logged me out, and I haven't signed back in since. Like it's on my phone. Like eSency's on my phone, and like I haven't signed in like a year because like get started. Welcome to like I just won't do it. Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
He doesn't know how to use keys. That's the problem.
I don't know how to use. I want simple. See, this is the thing with the CryptoManiacs podcast. Let me break this down for all of our listeners. We represent two different sides of the spectrum. Task is the smart, analytical, technical guy. I'm the everyday idiot. That's why this podcast works, because I speak for the rest of us. The rest of us who just want to press a button and it works. We don't care how it works. I don't care about your delegated proof of stake. I don't give a crap about your decentralization. I don't care. I just want the stupid thing to work. When I press a button, I want it to work. That's it. I don't care how all of the little pixies in the background in the computer programming does it. I don't care. I want to use it. I'm on a roll today, man. This is just water. Just letting you know. This is not.
It's not a protein drink.
Not a protein shake.
You probably need one.
I do. Oh, just dying here. I'm dying here, guys. Like I'm just.
So Belimo, we can't end the show without asking. I haven't been spending a lot of time on Twitter. What's the latest with you and Trump, man? Are you two still at each other's throats? Has he done something to irritate you of late? What have you gotten a few shots in at him? Where do you two stand?
We're still in a romantic relationship. I don't lie. Everything is going well.
It's a romantic relationship.
Yeah. We're still in love.
If you're not following these guys on Twitter, make sure you do, both Belimo and Trump Man, and just watch their back and forths. It's great. It's fantastic.
We will say it's not necessarily G-rated. It can get a little blunt.
Sometimes things get a little bit steamy. Well, sometimes we just forget that we're in public and things just get a little bit too steamy. We just have to bear with us. Shit. But I'm like Taskmaster said though, especially about Hive, right? Like you just need to like ignore what's going on in the market and just follow what's going on like in the network, because there's just a lot going on. There's always something going on. Like you even forgot to mention that on Leo Threads now you can embed videos from 3Speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's really cool. Although I'm looking forward to when I can just like upload my shorts, because I want to make like short 20-second shit posts.
You can put your YouTube shorts in Peak D now. That they put out a post last night or this morning that shorts can go into Peak D.
That's where I think this stuff needs to go. I made this post yesterday about it because, and I'm a big raving fan of Like2. I think that what they're doing is great, and when they get that mobile app, it's just going to open the floodgates. All of this stuff, short form content, is how this stuff gets everywhere.
And like John said, especially with click a button and let it work. That's one thing that stresses me, if I should say, about video content on the blockchain, is that there's just a lot of moving around before you get anything done. You have to move around a little bit. With YouTube or TikTok or whatever, you just get your video, click, and it's there. But with 3Speak, like when I'm telling people about 3Speak, I have to explain it to them. Most people don't need explanation to upload a video on YouTube. You just click, it's right there. But with 3Speak, I really have to like explain things to them. So like I'm looking forward to when we get to that point where you don't have to explain things to people, where all the Johns in this world can just use these things. Like you can just come and just be like, okay, there it is. I'm using it. Like I'm just going to click this button and upload my dumb video of me drinking a protein shake, and life will go on. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one thing. That's one thing that stresses me about our blockchain social media space right now. And of course, we're still young, so I know that there's still a lot to right now. For text, at least, things are easy. If you want to blog on, in fact, blogging on Hive is even easier than blogging on Medium or other platforms. Hive is actually easier than other places. When we've sorted out the text side, like the text, anything that has to do with text, Hive, perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Now we're just trying to Leo Thread is going to sort out short content text, and then the next phase really is multimedia videos. Once we sort out videos, honestly, Hive is going to explode because once people can just take their dumb video and just put it there, that's all it takes. That just it. Just take my dumb video of my dog jumping around the house and I just throw it in the Leo Threads, dog jumping, and then put a caption, me trying to buy Ethereum, or put a caption, John trying to use MetaMask, and my dog jump.
It wouldn't be a 20-second video though. It'd be 2 hours of me smashing keyboard.
Once we get to that point, I'm telling you, Hive is going to explode. It's going to be huge because there's a market already. There's a buzzing community inside. You don't even need to market it outside. Like there's a community inside already, just eager, just waiting for this opportunity.
Well, one thing I would like to see is I would like to see other front ends pick up Leo Threads and incorporate that in, just like PT and CTP and Highblog and all these different front ends tie in with the long form content, tie in with the short form. I mean, Leo Threads is on the blockchain, so any front end could incorporate it. So that way people could quote thread or whatever they want to call it out of PT or whatever. They can engage in microblogging. So I could be in Leo Finance, you could be in PT, and we could be going back and forth and not care what application the other's using.
Yeah. That would be cool. And that would make sense. But now the thing is, okay, when they incorporate, they're also going to incorporate the character limit, the 200 and Leo Threads has a character limit. They made it like Twitter.
Yeah, it's 240, but unfortunately, 240. Right now, if you put a link in, that counts towards your 240 characters. They put it live and there were bugs, so they took it down. What's going to happen next is you're going to have 240 characters for your content. Then you'll have another 240 characters for pictures or for links or whatever you want to put in there. So,
but on Twitter, links count towards your 240.
What?
On Twitter, links count towards your 240 characters too. It's only pictures that
links are out of your 240. You got 240 plus. I think you get 60 characters in links.
I've never noticed that.
But either way,
but it's only pictures that don't count.
What's that?
Only pictures and videos that don't count towards your 240 characters on Twitter.
Either way, from what Cal said, you'll have your 240 body, then you'll have another 240 in links and picture links and stuff like that. Yeah. That doesn't count for your 240 characters. So you'll be able to write the body and put in. And what they actually did is they have picture carousel. So if you put in 3 pictures, you'll actually be able to see all 3 in a carousel form. But it's really not effective right now because all those pictures go into your 240 character count. So,
Let me look for a meme of a frustrated person and tag John to it and say he's trying to use MetaMask.
A guy jumping off a bridge. John trying to use MetaMask.
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm done with MetaMask.
So wait, now now after the whitelist stuff, now have you gotten your Rooney stuff?
You have to go mint it. So you have to this is all happening while I can't do this. But you're supposed to link your Rooney, your MetaMask wallet into Splinterlands, and then open OpenSea. Link, make sure they're both the same, and then it'll say on OpenSea, this is a valid whitelist. So if you did it wrong, like I did, there's no way to edit it, so I can't get the proper address. But then you just mint it. You pay 0.19 ETH, and then you mint it, and you get a
picture,
a picture, basically. And then you can play. You can play with it. It's gonna be a card, a playable card. It's just they got to write the contract for it or something still. So
that sounds very complicated.
It's extremely complicated, but everyone is swearing it's so easy. Like, it's easy for people that know what they're doing, who are like complete smart people, but the majority of the people are like me, who are idiots, and we don't do well with things that don't work the first time. We try to figure it out. I spent 24 hours trying to figure it. It's not like I tried this 1 or 2 times and then said, forget it. Like, I spent the past 24 hours of my life trying to get this thing to work, and it just doesn't. So I'm just done. I'm finished. Forget it. You Rooney can.
Hey, Belimo, you want to buy his Splinterland stuff?
I'm selling it.
Maybe putting it up for sale.
Selling it all. I'm going to sell every single thing on my spot. I'm done with Splinterlands, man. Finish. Just joking. I'm going to play later.
Yeah. That's what everybody says. You're going to play like in 10 minutes.
Yeah, literally dying.
10 minutes almost. I think I rage quit Splinterlands 6 times a day. I quit. I'm like, fuck. I'm done. Why do these people keep beating me? This is not fair. This guy is cheating.
I go on my 10 losing streaks, and I'm just like, why am I still playing?
I can't keep going. And then I go, I take a protein shake, I come back.
You drink a protein shake and go to bed. Yeah. My energy capture rate is down to like 6%, and I'm still playing. 20 game losing streak, but I'm like, why isn't this working? Like, forget it. Yeah.
I've been learning some things about energy capture rate, right? And I've been learning how to manage it. It turns out playing fewer games gives you even better rewards than playing a lot of games. That's the funniest part about this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't reward the hardcore players. Like, if you want to go and play 30 games a day, you won't get any good rewards. But you play like 5 or 6 really good games and your ECR is high, you're good.
Yeah.
You're golden.
You're good. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
So I've been practicing how to like manage my ECR, and so far so good. It's been rewarding. I play like, but the problem is when I get on my losing streak. That's the problem. When you start losing too many games, all that management, all that stuff just goes out the window. The only thing that's on your mind is you just want to win. Like, and when you don't win, it's frustrating. But I've been learning how to manage the ECR, and it's been good so far.
Yeah.
You just have to like know how many games you're going to play every day, so you can grow your ECR. Let your ECR be above 70% always. If your ECR is above 70% always, and you're playing with like some beta cards, you're going to be beta and gold foil cards. You're going to be making a lot more from like 3 battles than you make at 6% winning 10 battles.
Oh, they got it down to a science.
See, here's what happens, Belimo. John starts playing around with MetaMask. The price of Ethereum's been up 12% in the last 7 days. John messed with MetaMask. Ethereum goes up in price. John, you'll be happy to know Bitcoin's back over 20 grand. I know you were watching it
right now.
Thank goodness. Like, I mean, what were we gonna do if it went down to 15? It's like, whatever. I hate Bitcoin. I hate Ethereum. I hate it all. The only thing I like is Hive. That's it. That's all I like. All this stuff can go to hell. And the influencers can go with it. There, I'm just a bitter old man today, man. Jeez,
you are, and you're not even that old.
I need to go play some Atari 2600, man.
Like, Donkey Kong,
Space Invaders, Space Invaders, Asteroids. The game I used to play was Kaboom. Do you know that one?
Yep.
You remember that
Kaboom. Yep.
Are you asking me?
What's that?
You're
Sorry?
definitely not asking me if I know it. What's
No,
kaboom?
he's asking me because I'm a little
Okay.
dated. Yeah, I know I don't look it, but I'm up there, man. I'm up there. So
Kaboom
No
was
way.
the
Yeah,
game.
you play Donkey Kong
I
in
pl-
in arcade.
yeah, I played everything, dude. I'm from the '70s, man.
What?
Yeah,
Flintstones time.
yeah.
You know,
Flintstone
I'm really
time.
convinced that in the 70s, the Flintstones is based off the 70s and 80s. That's what the Flintstones is based on.
Dude, I feel like it. It feels like that. And everybody like I had to. Oh, you're not old yet. I feel it. Damn, dude. I'm bitter and
How do you,
grumpy. I'm like,
how do you guys
get off
deal
my
with the
lawn.
changes? Like, there's just been so much going on between the 70s and now. Like, the difference in technology and everything. How did you just adjust? How do you move? Was it easy?
Well, for me, yeah, because I grew up on the internet. Like I had my first internet revelation when I was like, well, this was like 96, 97. Like when I got it, when it clicked into my head what this was, I was
I
all
was
in.
a baby then.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, what was I? Well, I was born in 77, so in 97 I was 20.
Whoa.
So 20 years old, I'm like learning this stuff and I'm like, this is it. This is where everything is going. So I was hooked from day one.
Hell, I quit drinking in '97.
What?
I quit drinking in '97.
What was alcohol like in the 80s?
Fermented differently.
No, like it's a funny question to ask. It's a funny question to ask. Is it you guys are like a time machine to me. So like was it like
Dude, don't worry. I remember being your age. It comes quick. You think
Yeah.
it before you know it, you're 30, and then you're like, oh, I love my 30-year. Oh, 30 is a great. And then before you know it, you're 40. And then all of a sudden you're halfway through your 40s and you're like, I just turned 30. Like I just turned 30. Where the hell did that go? Go have kids. That'll speed it up for you. Great. Go have kids. It's the best.
oh man. It's just really fun, just like talking to people that were like there. Like I only see these things in movies and people talk about these things and I read about them because I read a lot. But like I mean you guys were there and it's amazing. Like you guys were there in the time where they said this. Has anybody watched Stranger Things? That series, Stranger Things.
Yeah, I know the series.
See, believe
Like
me,
that series is based on like
I'm from the era where the remote control was me. That's the remote control for the TV. Hey, get up and change the channel.
Get up
And
change
while
the
you're up,
channel.
go get me a beer.
there were no remote controls when you used to watch TV.
When you were, yeah, it was your 6 or
Knobs on the
7-year-old
television,
kid who walked over to the TV and turned the knob from channel 5 to channel 7 or channel 2 to channel 9. That was your
Lisa,
remote control.
Lisa says me too.
Yep. She knows. She knows.
Dude,
Wow.
I remember the first.
I don't
remote
remember TVs
control.
not having remotes. I've never
Dude,
seen
I
a TV
remember
without a remote.
the first remote control I ever saw had a cord attached to it, and it was a box. So the box would sit on your coffee table, and there was a cord that ran to the TV, and that you'd press these big, huge buttons to change the channel. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man.
Do you
this,
know what?
This is not like 70 years ago, man. Like this is literally 40 years ago.
It is in the Flintstones.
Well, they didn't have TV.
They didn't have TV. Yeah, the Flintstones, man.
Do you know what a telephone cord is? We used to have the telephone mounted on the wall, and you could walk around. The one in the kitchen had like a 12-foot cord, so you could walk with the receiver and walk around. The rest of them had a 3-foot cord. So
I've seen that in the movies.
You literally had to sit next to the phone to talk.
You guys are getting me all depressed now, man. Jeez.
Only in the movies. Only seen it in the movies, and sometimes when I like read documentaries and stuff. Like all those documentaries on Netflix.
Hell, I remember. Do you know what an 8-track tape is?
What was that?
8 tracks. Yeah. Well, that was before my time, so I don't feel
8-track
that.
tapes were kind of between records and cassette tapes, audio cassette tapes. They didn't last very long.
Audio cassette.
It was kind of during
Okay,
the
cassette. I saw cassette. At least
yeah,
I know the cassette.
cassette were for LP cassette, but 8 tracks kind of lasted for a couple years. They were during the disco craze of the 70s, like my mom had a car with an 8-track tape player in it.
Wow.
Well,
Well, at least there were cars back then, so I mean, it can't be that old.
yeah, we had cars.
Yeah, cars. They started it just like the Flintstones, through the legs, and they would like get
You have
it going.
to put your legs outside and.
Yeah.
I mean,
that explains why people in the 70s were always fit.
Yeah.
The cars back then. I mean,
you guys didn't have remotes.
You didn't have.
Man, if I didn't have a remote, I'll never use my TV.
That's why you had a kid. You have a kid and say, okay.
Oh, right.
Hey, go change the channel and go get me a beer while you're at it.
Get my protein shake.
Yeah.
Go get my protein shake, kid.
Get my protein shake. Yeah, we didn't have internet. We didn't have computers. We didn't have cable TV. When I grew up, I didn't get cable TV till I was a junior in high school. We had like 5 channels, connected to an antenna on the roof. And one of those was PBS.
Sometimes when you look at your kids today, how do you feel knowing that their childhood is so different from yours?
Well,
I guess you guys have to go outside and play.
Well, yeah. Well, I live in the middle of nowhere now. We lived in cities our whole life, but that was one of the things we wanted to do, was get out into the country. So these kids actually go and play outside now. That being said, they always got their iPads in their hand. They're watching YouTube videos all the time. They love doing it. Yeah. They don't
like Lisa said, she remembers when MTV started. I remember when MTV actually had videos on them. They actually had music videos.
Music television, right?
It's
what was the first song they played? Radio killed the video killed the radio star. That was the first song they played on MTV. Yeah.
Wow, you were there.
No, that's just history. I was there for one thing. In Toronto, where I grew up, I was there the first urban music radio station. The first song, I was there when I turned it on, when it went live to air, was 93.5. They turned on, and the first song they played was 3 Little Birds by Bob Marley. That was the first song they played. I was there for that. So that's my history.
This is so cool, man. It feels like I'm in a museum right now.
Thank you, sir. It's coming. It's coming. You don't think so because you're young and you don't think it's coming, but buddy, it's coming. Before you know it.
So the reason why I asked this is because how do you relate? How do you guys deal with what you said you adopted the internet early and all, but how do you deal with what you know and then relating it to the present with blockchain technology and all, with the whole decentralization and all this stuff going on with blockchain? Isn't it a hard swerve for you guys dealing with all that blockchain and crypto stuff?
No, because it's just evolution. It's what you have, Belimo, and you're going to experience this. If you go from the 1860s through today, technological trends technology goes in a straight line like this. It's always advancing, but technology goes through about 20-year cycles in terms of consumer impact. So if you stood in the year 2000 and look back to 1980, you would say the world is not the same, because it totally changed. As I said, we got the video cassette player. We got in-home video gaming devices. You got cable TV. We got cell phones. We got personal computers. We got all this shit. From 2000, people were saying in 2022, well, technology slowed down because it really, other than the smartphone, things haven't changed since 2000. And that's true. But now you're in the 2020s and into the 2030s. You're going to see a lot of changes at the consumer end of things. So we're probably going to get things, we're already getting blockchain, we're getting crypto wallets. You're going to see things such as virtual reality, augmented reality, some type of mixed reality glasses, changes in energy. I mean, who the hell knows what we'll be dealing with in 20 years? Electric vehicles, all this stuff, where in 2040, you'll look back and you'll say, shit, this is a lot different than it was in 2020. And then, from 2040 to 2060, if things hold true, the impact on the consumer end of things will slow down as everybody digests the changes and improves upon them and stuff like that. So that's why when I look at crypto and blockchain and all this stuff, I go out on a 20-year period, because I realize then there's going to be a period of time, if this stuff is still the base of a lot of things, where you won't notice a lot, even though there will be a lot of advancement, but it'll be back end stuff. It'll be stuff with new chips, new processors, new memory, new storage, all that crap. And, what we'll be implementing this decade and next decade is stuff they started working on last decade. And so, that's really where it is. I mean, we got hit. I was a teenager in the 1980s and then in my 20s in the 1990s. And we got hit with a lot of shit. I mean, you got cable TV, then you got computers. I went to college. My first 2 years of college, we actually hand wrote our reports. Then the last 2 years, you had to type it up, and we had computer labs because most people didn't have personal computers. So you went to the lab. The college bought a bunch of computers, and you had to, go. It was like going to the library. You had to sign up for a time, and you went in and you typed your papers. And then, we got cell phones and personal computers. And then, of course, the internet came about. And there hasn't really been too many innovations with the internet of late. I mean, social media was something, but the internet is going through a massive transformation. Web3 is going to be enormous. I'm convinced of that because of these trends. And you are going to get billions of people involved in Web3. We don't know exactly what it'll look like, but we know it's going to be big. And this is in historical trends. So I think all of us who were around in 2040 are going to look back and say, things really changed in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So
that,
yeah, I mean, it's like, you stick around long enough and you see stuff like, you see the emergence of Blockbuster, the video cassette rental stores, and those chains. And they started off with, I knew a guy, I used to caddy for a guy. He used to own a video rental store in a shopping mall. Well, they ended up being bought out or put out of business by the chains, Movie Gallery, Blockbuster. Then Movie Gallery and Blockbuster basically were put out by Netflix. And Netflix is now in a bit of trouble. And many are opining Netflix won't make it. So, probably by 2030, Netflix will be gone or dying, and there'll be something else that everybody jumps onto. Same with social media. Everybody says, well, Facebook can't be beaten. Well, people thought that about MySpace when John started on the internet. It was very powerful, and it's still around, its niche, but something will come along that'll attract everybody's attention. And I personally think it'll be Web3. It'll be, own your account. It'll be immutable data. It'll be tied to crypto. It'll be decentralized data storage. It'll be all these different things. So that's you just adapt. You either stay up on this shit as much as you can, or you ignore it and hope it goes away, which then you're one of the, what Blaine likes to call, then you're a boomer. Then it's like, well, come on, dude, get off your pocket calculator, pull out your slide and figure it out.
Do you think that part of the reason why it's been easier for you to, because I'm assuming that you guys have like friends,
I have no friends.
People in your like your age group that that are not really like adjusting to the new technology and the new stuff like you are. Do you think it's possible that maybe perhaps it's because like you've been there, you decided to like stick around and watch the trends as they go? Like now you have like a lot of information about technology and how consumers respond to it, and how the 20 years thing you said. And do you think that perhaps it's because of you as a person, and it's not like a general thing? Like, I don't know if you get what I mean.
Well,
Well,
blockchain.
it's John and I have a similar story, but different in the sense. His was the internet, mine was the copy machine. In the late '90s, I got involved in what at that time was the copier industry. Analog machines set away in the corner, plug it in the wall and make a copy. Put it in the dock feeder on the glass, make a copy. But at the time I was getting in the industry, it was going digital. So once an industry goes digital, it changes things completely. And so suddenly we were dealing with devices that were also printers. So they were connected to computer networks. Then they became scanners. Then they tied into software. And so I was forced over a 20-year period to start learning all this stuff and staying up with it because of the industry I worked in. And what you're saying is absolutely true. I'm what's called the Gen Xer in the United States, which is between the baby boomers and the millennials. And it's like people often use the analogy of a sandwich. The baby boomers, which is one slice of bread, they're anti-tech. They're not tech. It doesn't come natural. They didn't have a lot of changes in their life technologically. Then you have the other end, the other slice of bread is the millennials. They knew nothing but technology. Ever since they were of age, every few years something changed. And then you have the meat in the middle is Gen X, which we can go one way or another. And there's a lot of Gen Xers who are as oblivious to technology as baby boomers. They did not incorporate it at all. Some of your younger baby boomers who got involved in their office and had to learn different things because of work, they're the exception, not the rule. And that's why I always laugh at these jackasses in Congress, or one of the reasons, especially the Senate. They're fossils. They're 70 years old and they're trying to talk to Mark Zuckerberg about what he's doing at Facebook. And you know damn well they have no clue what he's saying. None whatsoever. And that's a major problem. So, yes, there are certainly people, especially in the United States, who are in their 50s who really have no idea about technology. Forget blockchain, forget cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
They can barely run their phone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Dude, for me, it's simple. It's like people just, my generation grew up on social media. Like we were in our 30s, or late 20s, early 30s, and everyone just went to social media. It was like a natural progression. Now, the majority of the people in my age group aren't on TikTok. They're on Facebook. They're on Facebook. They're on YouTube. They're not on TikTok.
Well,
TikTok.
And that's another thing, Belimo. We've seen in social media where different generations embrace different apps because, my daughter, I remember her saying, I don't know how many years ago, it was going back a while, she was an Instagram person. And it's like, I asked her about Facebook and she says, my grandmother's on Facebook. That's the mentality. Facebook's for old people. Instagram is where it was at. And like John was saying, I mean, YouTube to probably these Zoomers, YouTube is up. You old people are on YouTube. I mean, the Zoomers are on TikTok. You're getting close to being an old person. You're on YouTube. It's like the 14-year-olds look at you and say, "Oh God, you remember Instagram?"
Like,
oh God,
like I can't deal with TikTok sometimes. I don't lie. TikTok is tedious sometimes.
And maybe that's it. Maybe the Zoomers, maybe the younger generation, we create an app in cryptocurrency and blockchain that they just gravitate to. And it's like, Meta. Why would you use Meta? It's like, why would you use YouTube? I mean, maybe they'll all be like 3Speak, yay, or whatever we develop.
Yeah. Well, this was really interesting though, because like I've always wondered how, like you guys said, it will happen to me. I know that definitely in the next 10 years I'll be 40. So it will definitely happen to me. And when I'm 40, I'm going to be looking back and thinking, wow, a lot of shit has changed. But I always wondered how, because I like learning, and I always wondered how, I'm going to say old people, adjust. Like move from the unknown. Because when I think about the 80s, right? When I think about the 80s, and it's obviously it's my imagination because I wasn't there. It just seems so different from now. I mean, I was born in the 90s, but I experienced more of the 2000 and 2000 to today. Most of the tech that existed in the year 2000 was just only refined. Like, there were phones already in year 2000. There was the internet already. Everything is just being refined. So I'm just living it now. I'm just experiencing the refined version. But you guys, when you were my age, you guys were living at a time when like none of this existed really. Like, really, I mean, the internet existed, but I mean, everything else didn't. Like social media, a lot of the things that we're living with today as our norms. Like you buy a new phone and it comes with Twitter. Like, a lot of the things that we're living with as our norms today didn't exist then. So I often always wondered like how you just like adjust to it, and I feel like, and I look at my parents too, because my parents are like in their 60s and my mom is in her 60s and my dad in his 70s, and they struggle with these things. Like they really struggle. Like sometimes I help my mom do some shit on her WhatsApp and she thinks I'm Mark Zuckerberg. So like no joke, like I set up our WhatsApp for her and she thinks like I am this tech genius, of course I take my plaudits because it's my mom. but like I often just look at them and I just wonder like, man, this must be really difficult, like because it's like really different for them. So I guess this explains a lot, but I feel like for you guys, especially for both of you that I'm talking to now, and I've talked to other 40, 50-year-olds before, they seem very old. You guys don't seem very old because I feel like you guys were there and you paid attention, which is the reason why we're talking about blockchain and we can talk about all this blockchain and cryptocurrency stuff. I'm telling you, if you talk to many 40, 50, 60-year-olds, all this shit we're saying just goes over their head. Just like,
Well,
they don't
I think a lot of it, Belimo, comes down to what people did in their jobs. And I'll give you an example. A buddy of mine who was an accountant. So he was always involved in technology to a certain degree because they did tax returns and whatnot on the computers, and it eventually went to cloud and all that stuff. Him and his wife have a couple friends, and the husband, he sold security systems for a living. He worked for ADP or ADT, whatever the company is. He sold security systems. And so he never learned how to utilize any of this stuff because he'd go to a home, he'd sell a security system, he'd write it up on a piece of paper, he'd take the paperwork to the office and they'd process it, they'd bill, they'd do whatever they did. This guy, he ended up getting laid off at 57 years old. He doesn't even know how to turn on a computer because his job never required it. He simply just always wrote his sales up on the paper, on a 2 or 3 part form in the customer's home, and he turned in the paperwork. And somebody else did the data entry, somebody else scanned it in, somebody else did all that stuff. He didn't know how to turn on a computer. 57, he's probably now about, I guess this is 5 years ago, probably about 62. No idea how to turn on a computer. I mean, that's, I think, what it comes down to. It's like, if you got involved in technology because of your job, you worked in an office, they were constantly changing the software, you paid attention, you learned, you watched what was going on, then all of a sudden you start to see things such as electric vehicles, and they're not so scary. You start to hear about blockchain. You're like, okay, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
and like I was
yeah.
saying, you don't maybe know exactly how it works, but you're like, okay, I can understand, distributed ledger technology, then cryptocurrency. Okay, I can understand this a little bit. This isn't like Warren Buffett where, this is, or Charlie Munger, this is rat brain poison or something. It's like, okay, I can understand it.
Yeah,
and
like
John experience. He's been on the internet for 25 years. He's watched it change. He's had to adapt as it's changed.
Yeah. And I was just looking at Lisa's last message, and she mentioned the
Mimeograph.
mimeograph. I had to Google it because I have no clue what she's talking
Yeah,
Dude,
about.
I don't even know what that is. So yeah.
that made
Because
you
I
end
had
up,
to Google it.
if you know what a Smurf is, you ended up looking like a Smurf after you used it because it had blue ink, and you ended up covered in blue ink like the Smurfs. Another 1980s show, the Smurfs. Yeah, it was basically a mimeograph machine was the predecessor to the copier. It was like if you ran off 25, if you had to run off 25 tests, you ran them off in the mimeograph machine, or if you had, a school assembly, you ran off 400 school assembly, notices or whatever.
It looks so weird. Like it looks like I don't even know what it is. Like I'm looking at it. I'm looking at pictures of it right now. I can't make any
Can't even
sense.
figure out how it works.
Like I don't even know what's going on. Like where does the paper go into? What it's and is it like something like a crank that you turn?
Yep. Yep. And then they, in the 80s and 90s, they became automated, but it was still the same process. It would take a screen, it would fill the screen with the ink, and then the screen was pressed against the paper that ran through, and it would spit them out. And they ended up doing things very quickly, but you had to run the same thing because the screen took like 2 minutes to create in the electronic ones. And it's like a typewriter. I mean, I remember people, Belimo, when the first personal computer came out and people were learning on the typewriter, they were saying, "Oh, it's like an electronic typewriter." That's what they thought it was. They looked at this and they're like, because they could type their letters, they could type their memos, they could type whatever, and it stored it and saved it. It's like, okay, it's a typewriter.
Wow,
I mean, go Google a typewriter. Go Google
no,
IBM
I know. I
Series
think I know
typewriter.
what a typewriter looks like. I saw a few when I was a kid. Although they were never used, nobody ever used them, but I saw them. Some offices had them. So I've seen typewriters. I know they do this. There's this bell sound when you get to the end. Although that one I saw it in cartoons, but not like
Saw it in
anyone.
cartoons.
Yeah, I never saw it in real life. I only saw it in like Looney Tunes cartoons.
You realize, Belimo, John was not in a good mood to start this call, and you've only made him feel worse.
Oh, I'm great
Sorry.
now. I'm great. I'm loving watching Twitter where people saying, "Oh, Roonies are already selling for over $1,000." Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving things right now. It's great.
Shit, sorry. That you
Let's-
still haven't minted your Rooney.
I know I still haven't. Let's shut down the stream though, because it's getting to be an hour and 40 minutes, and people will tune out after an hour. So
Yeah.
shut
Let
the
me.
stream off. But we'll keep talking because this is fantastic talk about how old we are, Task, and how young Belimo is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. No,
Sorry.
I love it.